let's talk sunglasses. So when it comes to running, there are a lot of shapes, there are a lot of tints, and there are a lot of features. I want to start off by going through some of the different lens colors and what they actually mean to you, what some of the different jargon is that you might hear, and hopefully help you make the right decision to have an even better run. Amanda Brooks here from Run to the Finish. I am a longtime running coach and longtime runner who has also been a gear tester. So as someone with blue eyes, I am sensitive to the light. I am wearing sunglasses every single time I leave the house, which meant then I started going on the hunt for the right running sunglasses, something that wouldn't fog up. And then I discovered that there are different lens colors. So I want to share some tips with you today that I hope will help you find the right sunglasses. As always, drop questions, leave me a thumbs up, let me know if it was helpful. I want to make sure and give you what you need. First, let's talk about a couple of phrases that you might hear a lot. So one, particularly if you have ever worn Oakleys, is going to be the words polarized or prism. So polarized means that the sunglasses are going to try to prevent that glare that happens, especially off snow, especially off water, that kind of thing. So you will not see it in every sport sunglass, but you will see it in some. Prism is the other term that Oakley uses. So every brand is going to use some different terms. Honestly, there are a couple of major manufacturers that make all sport sunglasses. So they're not making them in-house. There's somebody with that awesome technology that is doing all of this work and then labeling for the brands. Fun insider facts. So Prism is just kind of helping with some of that contrast, some of that clarity when you're on the trails. The other one that is super important, this is Adidas, and these are their photochromic lenses. So I am a big fan of these in particular because photochromic is the idea that it's going to get darker or lighter for you. So when you are out on the trails and it is kind of cloudy, kind of overcast, or simply what I was doing in Sedona a few weeks ago, I was in the sun and then under a bunch of trees, a bunch of trees. You need sunglasses that are going to adapt with that. On the flip side of that, anytime I have run in these blue lenses on trails, I have had a horrible time because I cannot distinguish shadows correctly. So let's go through some of those lens colors too, but that photochromic that I mentioned, super helpful if you're doing a lot of trails or you know you're in those kinds of conditions. So these are the Adidas Photochromic SP0062, right? They don't give them names, they just give them numbers. So 62, Sport 62 is what you're looking for in that one. They have different lenses, but that's photochromic. The most common lens color we're gonna see is sort of that smoky gray. So it's sort of your all-purpose, all conditions kind of thing. Ideally, it is just helping to take the glare off of things to obviously shield your eyes from the sunlight. So gray, good, all-purpose, you're gonna see that a lot. I talked a little bit about the amber ones. Also, can I just mention, I know a lot of you don't do the wraparound, but especially on the trails, it's so helpful and you're actually blocking more of that UV light from coming in from the side, so protecting your eyeballs better. So the amber helps with contrast. So again, super useful when we're on the trails and we're trying to really figure out route, rock, snake. So that's amber. Gold, yellow is kind of the next one. So these are a much darker tint and yet can be really useful when you have a day that's sort of foggy or hazy. They can actually kind of help with some of that. So that one to me is kind of a test it out, even though I know that's what they say, because it's so much darker than some of the others. Rose. So this rose colored tint has become one of my go-tos for trail running. Same kind of idea as that photochromic amber, but particularly I do really like the rose-colored lenses. It absolutely helps to enhance that contrast. They are not so dark that when you hit like a patch where you've got trees or a bunch of cloud cover, suddenly you can't see. So I don't want to have to be doing this constantly throughout the run. Not enjoyable. Again, other benefit of these, even when it was cloudy, I could just leave them on and not think twice. I could see plenty clearly. Blue lenses, one, I just think they look cool, right? But also beneficial. They can be great when you are doing things in the snow, around water. So even if you're running alongside the ocean, you don't always realize how much that sun is bouncing back up off the water. So reducing that. Also, for me, at least, it's a little bit darker tint. So I do appreciate that here in Colorado, where the sun feels really, really bright some days, especially in the summer. So that's kind of what you're thinking of with the blue for the most part. Again, like I said, this was a pair that I took out on the trails a few times. And for me, the blue, poor choice on the trails. Great if you're on the road, you're biking, or like I said, skiing, any of that kind of stuff, gonna be super great for that. Since we're talking sunglasses, a couple of other quick features just to sort of think about. Anti-fog is a big thing for us as runners. So part of that is how close the sunglasses sit to your face, because you are obviously creating the moisture. So there are a couple of things you can look for. Adidas, so this is the SP0063. They come with what's called this Venturi effect. So it is a venting effect along the top, which is gonna allow that moisture, your sweat, all of that to escape. So that's gonna keep them from fogging up. The other thing with these is they're gonna sit a little bit farther from the face. So I'm gonna have that space there for airflow to continually go through. So some of the others, Oakley, I'm always trying to make sure I'm calling them the right things. X. So I run in the frog skins a ton, which is why I'm double checking names. These are open over here, but they actually sit right on my skin there. So if I stop, they can start to fog up. Usually while I'm moving, there's enough airflow to not be an issue, but those are some things to kind of look at, think about. I've gotten a lot of questions about prescription sunglasses. You can get, say, go into a store with Oakley's and have prescription lenses made. The other thing that's kind of nice though is, say, with these Adidas ones, you can see there's a clip here. And so you can get an additional lens made that's your prescription. So then you have the option to take that on or off. That way, if you're wearing contacts or something, your sunglasses still work. And yes, most of what I have shown you are expensive, nice sunglasses. I don't know, I've got some Nikes around here too. I don't know what's going on, but there is a reason for that. The lens quality is better. The result of that means that it doesn't distort your vision. So in a lot of the cheaper sunglasses, because they are not curved the way your eyeball is, what happens is instead of your vision staying straight forward, it's pushed out slightly one direction or the other. That means your brain has to work harder. The whole time you are wearing those sunglasses, your brain is trying to correct your vision. So while I am running, I want everything to be as easy as possible because I'm working hard. And if my brain is doing extra work, then I get fatigued extra quickly. I know they are an investment, but they're worth it. You're protecting your eyeballs, not just from things flying at you, but from the UV. You are reducing strain in your brain and in your face and in your eyes. And they look cool, right? The right sunglasses, they just make you want to go do your work. So I hope that helped. I hope that answered your questions. And like I said before, if there's more you want to know, feel free to drop below.